I'm 14 years old and I want to be bad. You'd think this would be easy for a teenage boy, but for me, it is impossible. I'm sitting in the band room at my high school. I'm wearing a pair of dress slacks and loafers. I have my Greenpeace t-shirt on. I'm assembling my piccolo. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't use drugs. In fact, I have given up all of my study halls and gym classes to join peer education. I'm a peer educator. I go to middle schools and I preach the word of Nancy Reagan, just say no. In 1986, she is my hero. I want to be bad, but I am like aggressively not bad. But I just, for once in my life, I want to like break the world. I want to do something that requires courage. I want to like ruin someone's life. I want to do something that I can point to later and when I'm older and say like, you see that scar on the earth? That is my scar and I made it. And I can't find anything to do. And I feel like I'm running out of time. I'm a freshman. I've got 4 years left to do something bad. And if I don't, then I will be an adult. And when you're an adult and you do bad things, the police are involved. So I feel like I got to do something now and I can't find anything. And then there's hope. At the end of band rehearsal, I'm standing next to 4 drummers, like bad guys. And one of them is named Glenn. He's a guy I kind of know, and they're talking about what they're gonna do on Halloween in 2 nights. They're going to egg Mr. Williams' house for the 3rd year in a row. Mr. Williams is our science teacher. He's my science teacher, and everyone knows where he lives because he lives right down the street from the high school. And I hear this and I realize this is it. Like throwing eggs at a teacher's house. That is bad. There's nothing good about it at all, and I want to do it. And so I sort of sidle up to the guys. They're in a circle, and I don't really get in the circle. I'm just sort of adjacent to the circle. And when Glenn says we're going to meet across the street in the wooded lot in the ditch and the guys nod, I kind of nod a little bit too, like I'm a part of the group. And when Glenn says, does everyone have a mask? And the guy next to me says, uh-huh, I just say a little, yup. I don't know if they hear the yup. I don't think they do, to be honest, but I've got a nod and I've got a yup, so I'm part of the gang and I'm going to show up that night. So a day before Christmas, I steal all the eggs out of my mother's refrigerator. I take them to the garage because I have an idea to get into the gang if they don't approve of me. I paint the eggs black. I'm camouflaging the eggs. I realize now how ridiculous this is. Like, Mr. Williams' house doesn't have like a Star Wars defense system that is identifying eggs as they hit the house. There's no reason to ever camouflage eggs that you're going to throw at something. But in my 14-year-old mind, this is the thing that I'm going to use to get in. And so I bring my eggs on Halloween night, and I am in that ditch across the street. I'm 30 minutes early because that is who I am. And I'm looking at Mr. Williams' house. It's a big white colonial. It's got floodlights. It's beautiful. It's got pumpkins on the stoop, and it's got piles of leaves on the lawn. It is a perfect target. And when the guys show up, all 4 of them jump into the ditch at basically the same time. And as soon as I see them, I know I've made a terrible decision. They're all wearing ski masks and dark clothes like ninjas, but when I heard Glenn say mask, I thought Halloween costume, and so I am dressed up like Batman. I have one of those like old masks, the masks that are held on by like cheap elastic, with the tiny little mouth that nothing fits through, and I have like the faux utility belt and the cape. And when they see me, even though they're wearing ski masks, I know they're thinking like, what the fuck are you doing here? But before they can say a word, I open up my eggs and show them a dozen black eggs. And they lean in. They see these eggs, and they think they're amazing. Like, it is this moment where 14-year-old minds converge on stupidity, and we all decide it is genius. And I am in the gang. They're like, fine, you're in, Batman. And so all of us are lined up in the ditch. There's 4 guys ready to rob a bank in Batman. And on Glenn's command, we rush across the street and onto Mr. Williams' lawn, and I take an egg in my hand, and for the first time, I act in malice. And I throw that egg at Mr. Williams' house. And just before that egg hits his house, there is an explosion. A legitimate, landmine goes off in front of me. One of those piles of leaves explodes, and there are leaves and sticks and acorns, and coming out of that pile of leaves is Mr. Williams. He is 65 years old, but he is moving like a 25-year-old. And I hear the ninjas scream like little girls, and I want to scream, but before I can, he latches his hand onto my wrist, and it's old man strength, like that serious bit of strength that old men have, and I am not going to get free. And as I try to wrench free, he's going after Glenn. He is dragging me across the lawn like a scarecrow, and I cannot believe this is happening. And I watch my friends cross the street and into the woods, and I hear them hit the undergrowth, and now I am here with Mr. Williams, and he is panting. And with his free hand, he takes off my Batman mask, and he sees me, and he just shakes his head. And I am ready for the lecture that is going to come. But there's no lecture. He turns and heads to his house, and he is dragging me with him to his house. We go up the steps and into the door and through the hallway to the kitchen, where he picks up the phone, and I think, my God, he's calling my parents. And so I open my mouth and I say, 883, 83, and he says, no. He calls the police. And a squad car shows up in Mr. Williams' driveway, and he does not let go of my wrist until those police arrive. And they take me by the wrist, and they bring me out to the squad car, and they put me in the back. And the guys get in the front, and the man behind the wheel, the cop, turns around, and he says, what's your address? They're gonna bring me home. And as that car pulls out of that driveway, I am terrified. And I am ashamed and humiliated. I have never felt as terrible as I feel in this moment. But also, for the first time in my life, I feel bad. And it feels so good. Thank you.